Hi guys, it's Mr. Guard, and this week we're going to learn how to make bones in Synfig. So I have drawn a guy who I call Guy, and I'm on a Mac, so I'm going to use the preview tool to remove the color. And to do this, you need to show the markup tools, and then here is a magic paintbrush, and you can just highlight the sections by color. It does take a little bit of time. I actually went in and used the lasso tool to go and grab the color pieces and then cut them out one at a time. I found that pretty fast, easy to do. Now, if you're using a PC, I'm going to put the description in here, and here's a little YouTube video on how to use a free program called Snagit.
Totally remove the background from
and change the background. So,
which is the same as removing them. As you click around, you might find the filter.
I'll put the link in there. So once you have the image, we're going to go to Synfig. And there's my trial, but let's just make a new one. And let's call this one something crazy like Guy 2. And then we are going to import the image that I've removed the background from. And it's a PNG because that gives me transparent. And I have to resize him so he will fit on the screen. And let's just make this a little bigger so we can actually see what's going on. Okay, so our first step is to come here and add a new layer. And the layer we want is a distortion, and it is a skeleton distortion, or sorry, deformation. And it freaks you out because as soon as you do that, it all disappears. But you just turn that off for a second. And then you select your guy. And then as soon as you do that, you will see the green part is the bottom of the bone. And then I rotate this to make my bones. So each time I do this, I click on it and say create child bone. And then this would make his upper torso. And let's make another one, which would be his head. Now here's the only thing that's kind of weird. I come down here and select, so that's the head bone, the upper torso, and then I say create a child bone, and then I'm going to rotate that over here to start doing the arm. You notice each time I'm adding a child bone, and I want it to cover up what I'm doing. Again, select that top of the torso, create a child bone. Okay, Now, what we have to change now is called the affected area. So when this bone moves, you want, or when the bone moves, you want the drawing underneath to travel with it. And usually this tool shows you the thickness of a line. But in this case, you'll see these little purple handles. Find your first bone and then actually drag it so it covers your entire object. And then just work your way through the bones, changing as precisely as possible so they're all touching the affected areas. And what you really don't want it to do is to overlap, because then when you move the bone, it's going to move kind of the adjacent area with it, which is a problem. And you can't really avoid it with this software because it's free and has a few quirks in it, but it's doing okay. So you'll notice once I have all this done, we're going to do a test. Okay, so we're all set, I think. We're going to turn it back on. We lose it for a second, right click, and then reset pose. There it is. Now we can turn this the affected area toggle back off. And now when we grab the blue handle, that should change the angle of the bone, which it does. And the orange handle, when I change it, should change the size of the object. So now I can turn it to animation mode, and I can start having my guy do some tricks. So we can move his arm up, bend this arm up, bend his knee up, advance a timeline, bring the leg back down, bring the other leg up, advance a timeline, and you'll see that's the affected zone problem we talked about. Okay, so let's stop this, back it up, play our animation. Crazy, crazy stuff. Okay, your job is to create a character, make it transparent, and then animate it. Have him do a little dance, the Macarena, whatever you can do. I look forward to it. Should be about maybe 240 frames long. Okay, guys, good luck.